Forget Doomsday for a few minutes. Let's talk about the little emergencies and disasters that happen to ordinary families every day. If the power went out tonight, would you be able to take care of your family? Let's face it, most disasters are not Doomsday. They're Tuesday. Hey friends, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Kylene. And some of the best prepping advice that we can give is to prepare for Tuesday, not Doomsday. And that phrase is circulating around the prepper circles. And it makes so much sense to me.
It really does.
Because every day, we've got life turns upside down, whether it's medical bills or something with your job and, your vehicle breaks down, all that kind of stuff, or power goes out. That's things that just happen. And that's what we really want to prepare for.
I think it goes right along with crisis exhaustion that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Some people are just turning off prepping because it's all too much. So let's bring it down a little bit and let's make it real.
Because prepping this way can save you money, save you stress, and make sure that you're ready when disaster strikes.
So Mama talked to us a little bit about why this phrase matters. Preparing for Tuesday, not for Doomsday. I think it makes a lot of sense, but tell us why this is so important.
Prepping gets a bad name, kind of like what Jonathan talked about when we're talking about bunkers and extreme scenarios, when that's not the events that is most likely to occur. So that's what we want to focus on. We want to reduce the fear and increase the practical preps that we do to make sure that we're ready when disaster strikes, or before disaster strikes.
And let's get right down to the bottom of this. These are important things that we want to do, and you know what? There will be natural steps that you will build on as time goes on. You're just going to know the next thing that you need to do, but let's start by keeping it at a lower level and let's make it real for us.
If we're preparing for Tuesday, we are preparing for common emergencies that take place. You've got a power outage. Maybe you've lost your job, or for some reason, you've got an income that falls short for a period of time. You have unexpected medical expenses.
And what about supply shortages? I mean, we've experienced this. It will happen again.
So it just makes sense, right? I think that's what we're trying to say. It makes sense to prepare for Tuesday.
Let's talk about some of the preparedness basics that helps us meet almost every emergency that'll come along.
Number one is to store some water, enough to last for several days. Have a way to filter or purify that water and know where you can get more.
Number two is near and dear to my heart, food. I love food, especially her good cooking, but have shelf-stable foods that you can, sometimes you don't even have to cook them. Sometimes they're right out of the can or right out of the package. Make it easy for yourself, but have some food on hand to fill those bellies.
For me, the goal for food is start with just a small supply of shelf-stable food to get you through a few weeks. Work up to a month and then a whole year. I know that sounds like a lot, but think about this. You could have anything happen if you have a year's supply of food and you'd be okay. Number three is light and power. This is you, Johnny.
Yeah. So yes, this is my baby. This is something I love. Having the ability to see, whether that's a flashlight, a headlamp, a lantern, whatever it is that will help you be able to see in the dark, and then having backup power that will meet your needs, such as charging your phone or running medical equipment. That's a big one. So take a look at that. Make sure you have the power and the light that you need to function.
Now, number four is one that gets forgotten, and that's financial preparedness. We need to make sure that you have an emergency fund in the bank ready to go for when that car breaks down or for when you have that emergency. Also, reduction of debt. The goal is no debt. At least that's our goal, is to be out of debt because it gives you such freedom. And then the other thing that we want to do is have some cash at home in case there's some type of emergency. That way you've got the money that you need right there.
Number five is skills. So there's a myriad of skills, and most of these you can learn, either you know them already or you can learn them very easily. Things like cooking.
And how about cooking without electricity?
And do you know how to stay warm without power? Or in some cases, maybe being able to stay cool without power. Do you know some basic first aid? Do you have the ability to communicate? And do you have a little communication plan for those that you love, and the ability to communicate and to receive information.
Can you turn off the basic utilities? I think that's really important. I'll leave a link because we just interviewed Tim McWelch, and it was a great interview if you missed that. But one of the things that he said was the most important skill was first aid. The next one was first aid. And the next one after that was first aid. And he had all kinds of really important reasons why that's the case. So learn first aid. Make sure that you've got those skills and that you're brushing up on them.
Now let's talk about how prepping for Tuesday actually saves us a bunch of money.
Just to start off with, you're buying and using things that you actually use. You're not going out and buying a bunch of expensive gadgets. You can also gradually build this up over time. You don't have to do it right now. Building that food supply, a little bit every week, and you'll be amazed at what can happen.
And make sure that we're buying what we actually use and rotating what needs to be rotated to keep things fresh and to make sure everything's working.
And preparing for Tuesday lets us avoid panic purchases, which are never a good idea. Let's talk about a simple plan to prepare for Tuesday. The first thing we want to do is to have at least 3 days of drinking water, 2 gallons per person per day.
Number 2, have a 1-week supply of food on hand.
And number 3, we want a basic emergency kit. So we had Jonathan design a very basic emergency kit. So why don't you share what you would put in this, Johnny?
Okay, kick us off here. This is water. Water's great. Food, we talked about food and my desire for lots of food. Having a good flashlight doesn't cost a lot.
But I have to say something about that. This is someplace where I would really invest.
Yeah.
So we are super big fans of Hybrid Light, and I'll leave a link and a discount code. But this is a solar rechargeable flashlight. You can charge your phone. This comes off the bottom, right?
Yes.
And so you can plug in your phone and charge it there. And it's quality. I don't have to worry about this. It's ready to go. So there are a few things I would invest in, and a good quality flashlight is absolutely one of them.
Definitely one of those. Number 4 is batteries. Make sure that you have the batteries for the things that you're going to need most. And some of that might be medical equipment. That is critical, but make sure you have the batteries you need. Number 5, first aid. And obviously knowing how to use this kit is important, but having the supplies on hand, absolutely necessary.
Critical.
Number 6, radios. Whether that's a radio that you can receive NOAA alerts on or something that you can communicate with your family, having that ability to communicate is very, very important. Number 7 is some kind of a phone charger, and it can be bigger, smaller than this. This one actually has solar panels. You can put it out in the sun to charge it. You can charge phones or whatever, obviously smaller stuff. But having that ability is, I think, very, very important.
And that's one of the reasons why I like the Hybrid Lights, because I can also use it to charge my phone. Now, this one is actually more powerful, right?
Yeah.
But that one will get the job done.
It will. Number 8 is having some cash on hand.
Number 9 is blankets. So I hate to be cold. This is what we have in ours, and it is a game changer. And that enables me to stay thermally neutral and not freeze to death no matter what's going on. So definitely a blanket would be in the basic kit.
And maybe that's a blanket from Costco. We love Costco blankets. I don't know what time of year they go on sale, but it's like Christmas time. They're like 10 or 12 bucks for a really nice blanket. So whatever it is that meets your need, make sure you have that on hand. Number 10 is your essential medications, whether that's pain relievers, antibiotics, prescription medications, whatever that is, having a supply of that on hand to get you through a crisis is super, super important.
So this kit makes sure that we are prepared for Tuesday. And that's what's really important to start with. Now that we've gone through Jonathan's basic emergency kit that is tailored for him, because we want to make sure yours is tailored for you. Number 4 is to start an emergency fund. Build up that emergency savings so that no matter what happens, you've got a little bit in the bank to take care of it.
Number 5 is to practice one prep skill every month. So whatever that is, whatever your list of skills that you want to learn or that you already have but you need to refresh, just make sure you do that.
And I know this is a little bit of a mindset change, but preparing for Tuesday builds incredible resilience, and it's easier than you might think, one step at a time.
And we like to call those small, steady steps. You're going to get tired of hearing that, but you're going to hear it more and more because that's what it's about. These small, steady steps that then lead to the next steps. And it's just a natural process that you go through, and it brings so much peace of mind.
And for the question of the day today, what Tuesday emergency have you had that made you realize the value of prepping? And what things would you advise other people to look at that are simple, inexpensive ways to make sure that you're prepared for Tuesday?
Let's drop those in the comments. Let's have some discussion. Let's learn from each other. That's the beauty of our community, is that we're learning from each other and we're making everyone's lives better.
Hey, thanks for being part of the solution.